This is a short prenatal flow, and I call this the feel-good flow. This is for any time when you feel like you need a little bit of energy, when you feel like you need a pick-me-up, you're just feeling blah, or if you feel like you are really anxious and you just need to get out some of that anxiousness in the form of movement. All you need today for props is a yoga block or a stack of books that will be about 6 inches tall. Or you can use a couple of folded towels. Just make sure you fold them up into a stack. And then you'll need a belt, or if you have a yoga strap, a yoga strap. This one's 6 feet. So stand with your feet at least hip width distance. Third trimester, go a little bit wider than hip width distance. Make sure you're creating a nice stable base here. So grounding down into your feet. Notice where your weight is. Are you tipping forward on the ball mounts of your feet? Are you tipping far back on your heels? See if you can equally distribute that weight. And then see if you can get your pelvis over your ankles. And then notice if your ribs are flaring. So are you standing with your ribs jutted forward? See if you can pull your ribs back and down. So we want ribs over hips, hips over ankles. And then bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. If you don't get dizzy with your eyes closed while you're standing, you can close your eyes. If you know you do get dizzy, just leave your eyes open with a nice soft gaze forward. Let's take a deep, smooth inhale breath through your nose. A nice big sigh out of your mouth. And then see if you can come into this moment. Notice your feet firmly planted on the ground. Feel your heartbeat in your chest. And notice your breath. How does your breath feel today? Do you feel like your breath is in your belly? Do you feel like you're taking more shallow breaths up in your chest? Do you feel like you're moving your neck and your shoulders a lot when you breathe? Just notice. And then see if you can deepen and lengthen your breath a bit on both the inhale and the exhale. And if you notice that you are breathing higher up in your chest, see if you can bring the breath down a bit so that the ribs are expanding, so the movement in the body is coming from the rib cage. On your inhale, visualize an umbrella and see if you can expand that umbrella. Ribs expand, umbrella opens, ribs open 360 degrees. So from front to back, side to side. And then on your exhale, those ribs close, the umbrella closes. Move through that a few times. If it helps, bring your hands to your ribs so you have this tactile feedback under your hands. So as you inhale again, breathing into your hands so the ribs expand into your hands. And then on your exhale, the ribs draw back into the midline. And it's okay to feel the breath in your belly too. So you might feel your belly rising into your hands. Notice what's happening with your heartbeat. Is your heartbeat slowing down a bit? And then take a moment to connect with your baby. Knowing that each one of these breaths nourishes you and nourishes your baby. Each one of these breaths is calming for you and your nervous system. Each one of these breaths is calming for your baby. And sometimes if you're having trouble connecting with your baby, I recommend to my students that they send their baby a message. So it could be a word like peace or breathe. It could be a phrase like I love you or I can't wait to meet you. Or it could even be like a color. Maybe like energy like the sun. Think of the sun's colors and send those down to your baby. So we'll be here for just another few breaths. And then if you have your eyes closed, open your eyes, letting yourself adjust to the light. Bring your arms down by your sides. Wiggle out your fingers, twinkle out your wrists. And then separate your feet a bit. So heel toe your feet out so they're wider than hip width distance. Take a soft bend in your knees here. Bring your hands to your hips. Just lightly resting your hands on your hips and then start to circle the hips around. So starting with smaller circles. And then gradually making the circles bigger. I do this in all my prenatal classes here in Chicago. The moms love it, the babies love it. Pretend like you're rocking your baby, or if you like the visualization of dancing better, pretend like you're dancing with your baby. So you can shift the weight from side to side a bit. Get the hips moving, nice juicy hips. Maybe even getting the spine moving and the shoulders. Just letting this be really fluid, moving with your own rhythm. And see if throughout this practice you can maintain your breath. So if you ever notice your breath getting a little short or you feel it's hard to take a deep breath, slow it down a bit. That's your body's signal that you need to slow down. A couple more of these circles. Just moving in whatever way feels good to you. And then come back to a neutral standing position. Again, checking your weight here. Heel toe your feet back in so they're about hip width distance. So bring your hands to your front two hip points, your ASIS. And just notice here, are my two front hip points in line with my pubic symphysis or the pubic bone? So notice here, if you're tucking your tailbone under or if you're arching in your back, see if you can come back to a neutral place where these two front hip points are in line with the pubic bone. And then take a big inhale, circle your arms high up to the sky. We'll do a modified sun salutation here. Inhale, breath, get really tall. So this should feel nice. You're expanding through your rib cage. You're making a lot of space for your own internal organs and space for your baby. Inhale again, get really tall. And then exhale, just float your arms down. Inhale now, circle your arms high, interlace your fingers, flip your palms up towards the sky. Big stretch through the shoulders. And then if it feels okay and if it feels good, just wiggle a little bit from side to side. So lateral movement of the spine here. Waking up the spine, waking up the shoulders, and then float your arms down to the ground or down by your sides. And then grab your block, your stack of towels, or your stack of books. Holding your block on the highest setting, bring your block right down in between your feet and in front of your shoulders. So take a big inhale breath here as you circle your arms high up to the sky. Exhale breath, soft bend in your knees here as you fold forward. Bring your hands to that block. And then exhale, breath around your spine like you're coming into a cat pose. Still keeping a soft bend in your knees. Inhale, finding length through your spine. Exhale, rounding the spine. Cat pose, hug your baby in. Inhale, lengthening the spine. One more time, exhale, rounding the spine, and then rounding as you come all the way up. One vertebra at a time. Circle at your shoulders once you get to the top. Inhale, circle your arms high. Exhale, cactus your arms. So bending your elbows, activating the shoulders, the biceps, and the triceps here. Deep breaths. So notice here are your ribs jutting forward. See if you can tuck those front ribs down and back. Breathing and expanding into the chest. Again, making a lot of space for you and for your baby. Another round of deep breaths here. Inhale, breath, reach your arms high to the sky, and then exhale with a little bend in your knees, fold forward, hands to the block. Inhale, breath, find length. Exhale, round, cat pose. Inhale, length. Exhale, round, hug your baby. Inhale, roll all the way up. And roll out the shoulders. Repeat that again. Inhale, breath, circle the arms high. Exhale, cactus, arms. Stay 2 breaths here. Inhale, straighten the elbows, reach the arms high. Exhale with a soft bend in your knees, forward fold, hands to the block. Inhale, find that length through your spine. Exhale, round, hug your baby. Inhale, length. Exhale, round, and roll all the way up. One segment of your spine at a time. Roll out the shoulders once you get there. So we'll add on a chair pose here in the middle of our half sun salutation. So inhale, circle the arms high. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, bend your knees. Sink the hips back just a few inches. Keeping the elbows nice and straight. And then notice here, as you're squatting, where your weight is. So I want your weight more back towards your heels than towards the front of your feet. So lift up your toes, spread them really wide, and then drop them back down. One more time. Lift your toes up, spread them wide, drop them back down. So you should notice here the quads are active, but see if you can also engage the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, the fronts of the backs of the thighs active here. Zipping up through the low belly. One more breath. Inhale, straighten your knees, and then exhale, forward fold. Again, gentle bend in your knees. Inhale, find that length in your spine, and exhale, round the spine. Hug your baby in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, rolls you all the way up. Shoulders roll out at the top. Good, we'll do that one more time. Inhale, circle the arms high. Exhale, cactus arms broaden through the chest, across the collarbones. Inhale, straighten the elbows. Exhale, chair pose. Stay and breathe. Next, inhale, straighten your knees. Exhale, soft bend on your knees as you fold. Inhale, length. Exhale, round cat. Inhale, length. Exhale, round. Inhale lifts you all the way up. Rounding. Slowly coming up to stand, rolling out the shoulders. Good, keep your block exactly where it is. Grab your belt or your strap. So take a wide grip on the strap here. If you have a buckle, like mine has a buckle here, I'm gonna wind that end around my hand just so the buckle doesn't fly. And then take a pretty wide grip here. So go at least as wide as your shoulders, if not a little bit wider. We're gonna bring some lateral movement here into the pelvis, the spine. So just starting slowly, twisting back and forth, allowing the spine, the hips to move in whatever way feels good. Letting the shoulders rotate. We don't get a lot of lateral movement in our everyday lives, so this helps sort of loosen everything up. Come back to center. Lower the strap down by your thighs. Take an inhale breath as you lift that strap straight up towards the sky. Straight elbows here. Notice, look down at your ribs and notice if they're jutting forward. Tuck them back. And then as you squeeze your shoulder blades together, bend your elbows, take that strap behind your head. So if you've ever done lat pull downs at the gym, you might notice this is the same sort of movement. Inhale, breath, straighten. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades, pull the strap back. If it helps to breathe through your mouth here on the exhale, you can do that. So inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Squeeze. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale the strap straight up towards the sky and take a few side bends. So ground through both of your feet here. Try not to shift the weight back and forth. Let this be really solid in your bottom half. So just the torso is moving here. Movement comes from the spine. And then slowly lower the strap. You can set it off to the side. We'll come into our last movement. So these are wave squats. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. So I have my mat turned sideways here, but I'm wider than hip width distance, and then the feet are parallel. The block is in the same place, so it's in between your feet and about underneath your shoulders. So you're gonna take an inhale breath here, come into a squat. So I'm gonna inhale, squat down. My hands come to rest on the block. My spine is long here in this squat, booty is back. Knees are bent and knees are tracking over ankles. So watch the knees, make sure the knees aren't collapsing inwards. Knees tracking over ankles. So nice and long spine here. And then I'll straighten my knees and then slowly roll up. So that roll up we've been working on, that comes from the tailbone first, rolls all the way up, the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, finally the cervical spine or the neck last, and then the head comes up. So how it looks fast, if you want to look at your, the video here, is inhale, hands to the blocks, and then straighten my knees, take an inhale here, and then I'm going to exhale to roll up. And then if we want to incorporate the arms, you can inhale down, hands to heart, hands to the blocks, exhale. Inhale, straighten the knees, exhale, roll up. Arms float all the way up to the sky, and then hands to heart. Center the whole thing over again. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the knees. Inhale all the way up. Arms to the sky. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale down. Exhale, straighten the knees. Inhale. Exhale, roll up. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, hands to the heart. So keep moving through that with your own breath. If the breath is tripping you up, don't worry about it. Just breathe in whatever way feels good to you. The point is here is for the movement to be really fluid and rhythmical. Wherever you're at, 2 more wave squats. And then bring your hands to heart center. Close your eyes if you can. If you feel like you're going to get dizzy if you close your eyes, keep a soft gaze forward or down towards the floor. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, just like we started. Inhale, breath here. Exhale, let the air out. Inhale again. Big sigh on your exhale. Just notice how you feel in this moment. Be here in this moment. Be with yourself. Be with your baby. Two more breaths here. You can sigh, or you can just take your normal breath. Bring your hands to your heart. Drop your chin to your chest. Thank yourself. Send yourself love and gratitude for making it to your yoga mat today and for sharing this gift with your baby. Namaste.